It's a beautiful day, isn't it? Now I'll tell you a story. I went to a carpenter's shop not too long ago, and I watched a whole lot of things going on. The wood, pieces of stakes and wood being, converted into very lovely looking, pieces, articles, furnitures, whatever you want to call it. But then I watched the process. It was quite interesting. It's something that was just ordinarily turned to something that is really beautiful. The process was also, to me, very harsh on the wood. Sometimes when they bring in something to do with the noise and the way it was going on the wood, I would scream. One of the workmen just laughed and told me, don't worry. These woods need these frictions, to get to be as beautiful as I would like it. Just like the piece I'm sitting on, it went through that hassle. And then at the end of the day, it comes out fine. What's my talk? I just want to buttress the fact that we need friction, we need conflicts, to be able to get to be better people. But how we manage it, what we convert it to, becomes really what we should work at. And then the managing process is what we're going to look at here, and our focus again is in the home. Last week we told you that women are nurturers as well as builders of the society, and of course we know that the family is the smallest unit of that society. Mothers, sisters, all of us in the home, we build our home. To build it well, we must have friction because we're human beings. What do we make out of it? Fast forward to today. Do we know that women are the very first mediators in the legal department? We call them the ADR. Ever had. How do we put that power of mediating into power to make sure that our homes are running well despite the frictions, and of course converting the frictions into better gain for everyone? Hello women, there are women here.
Hi.
Hello. Nice to have you.
Hello everybody.
And I know that within all of us here, everybody sees us here very happy, but we do have our frictions.
Oh yes,
Sometimes it doesn't come on camera, but a lot of time is behind the camera.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, it makes us better people. Lola, you've been a while.
Yes.
How's it been?
It's been great. In fact, one of those things that should... Hello, audience. It's good to be here. One of those things, I saw all of you dancing just before I came in. I start with the fiction here? Now, where was I? I should have been in that, doing that.
That's the price for coming early.
I know.
I did not say late, I say early.
It's good to be here again. Good to see you guys.
Devon, how are you?
Oh, it's been a hectic week, but we're winging it.
Did you settle any quarrel this morning?
No.
That's strange.
No.
Let's check if Joy did.
My morning, I'm not too happy this morning. Yeah.
What's going on?
We played a draw. We needed the 3 points.
Excuse me, you are football. Can you imagine it?
That's what is bothering her.
Yes, that's it.
That's different strokes. No. Yesterday, and I could understand why Osime was mad. It wasn't. No. My night wasn't too good, but it's okay.
All right, I have children, so on daily basis you wake up with shouting.
Same here.
I'm an empty nester. Everybody has left the house. So I have a lot of echo in my house right now.
Sorry.
So there's so for me that's
it. Friction within yourself, and you fight it yourself.
No, please, no friction. Mental health, mental balance.
It's called intrapersonal friction. We're going to be looking at a lot of frictions and their types, but let's quickly take something that was put together by the group, Christian, all of them, about the role of women as troubleshooters.
We have a local slang in Nigeria that says that wahala, it be like bicycle. You know they're too hard to start. This is perhaps referring to the lack of balance on a two-wheel drive. However, we still get on that bicycle and ride the distance when we learn the skill. This skill was perhaps taught by your mother or father. And you would agree with me that this is the same way they teach us survival tips to help us navigate the frictions of our daily living. What tips did your mama teach you on how to navigate or dodge the frictions of life? Come with me and find out.
Okay, one of the survival tips that my mom taught me while growing up is that I shouldn't take sides with one party and leave the other, because everybody deserves a fair judgment and a fair hearing. Then another thing she told me is that I should be quiet. I should not go and say what I did not see. I should just keep quiet and watch people sort themselves out, or don't overspeak.
I have to study my environment. I have to, if it means running, I have to run. If it means calling for help.
She's taught me values. She taught me principles. She taught me things that while growing up, life itself will be much fair, and will also, give you a room for you to progress in life.
Avoid bad friends, and stay prayerful.
My mom has taught me to, anytime like there's a conflict going on, I should be patient. I should let everything calm down first before I will say anything.
During conflicts, my mom told me to always stay calm, read the situation before I act. Should be patient enough to try and define what's happening before I talk, and keep my focus to define what's happening.
My mom will always say stay out of trouble, and then report to her. She takes it up from there.
My mom taught me that if there's any argument or conflict going on with someone, it's either you keep quiet and let the person rant, or if it's going to get physical, you just walk away.
After hearing various tips that people's mothers gave them in order to dodge the frictions of life, let's head back into our conversation studio with our favorite discussants.
Okay, so our mothers, like we said, are nurturers and home builders, and of course that translates to being the builders of the society, of the nation. And a lot of tips have actually, flown around there as to how to ensure that you contribute your quota for nation building, for societal cohesion, and at the same time maintain your security and sanity. And I'm going to go around the house here to find out what your parents, taught you. My mom taught me how to be, a very good girl, whatever good means, honesty, hard work, humility, not too self-centered. But I like what my father taught me. My father taught me, if they slap you once, slap 2 times, and come home, let me help you take care of it. Because if you don't do that, people will always take you for granted. So when they hit you back. I'm not saying I've been doing that anyway. That's what my father told me. I don't know about you.
My father, my mother?
Your mother and your father,
Okay.
whichever.
My mother.
I know your mom is watching.
So I can't lie. Okay, for me, my mother taught me to respect. Even in the sense that she says that most of the time, when you have to respect, that the person has to earn, because most of the time people say, I'm older than you, you must respect me. So my mom says, respect your elders, because whether I'm there or I'm not there. And it's been very difficult lately because the elders have refused to respect themselves. And so to follow what she has taught me
It's difficult.
has been a bit on the difficult side. But I try my best to walk away in the state of what's happening, because a lot is happening and people just bottle it up and they're looking for somebody to vent it on. And I will not let anybody vent it on me, because I have a bit of, I used to have anger issues, which is...
You manage it.
I manage it. So, and people are used to wanting to bring you down. And so, growing up, because like I was telling you, growing up I had a complex, because they tell me, oh my God, look at you, you're black. Oh, look at you, you're fat. Look at you, you're this, you're that. So growing up was a bit difficult. But because I had a mother who saw it in me and nurtured me to make me who I am today. For my father, he says, let nobody say you're a woman. If they come, basbos, You understand? And he says because because he said because the society we're in, they bring down the woman, they bring down the girl child. So anywhere you are going to shut up. Why are you talking? You let the man talk first. The man is always right. So my father taught me defensive mechanism. That was what he taught me. So both of them taught me two different ways to handle a situation.
I don't know. I don't know what your mom taught you, but I hope it's not bus.
I don't recall being given tips on conflict management. Maybe because I didn't grow up with siblings in the house.
Okay.
So there wasn't much of that going on. And my parents were also, they didn't really let me, like, I could play with neighborhood kids, but I didn't have much conflict, so those conversations didn't come up. But what I do know, what I recall vividly is whenever my parents had issues with like maybe other family members or things like that, they would vigorously keep me out of it. As a young person, you know that mommy and this person are not on good terms. So the person comes to the house, you want to look at them, you don't want to greet them and things like that. My mom sees you. Once the person goes, she'll call me later, she'll say, why were you giving that person an attitude? Have I ever sent you to go and fight any battle for me?
Beautiful.
The next time that person comes to this house, I expect you to greet them.
That's beautiful.
So my parents, both mom and dad, used to go out of their way to keep me out of any friction they were having with anybody.
That's quite rare.
As a child, I used to be like, are we not supposed to be like, we're the same team now?
Yes,
so I need to show loyalty, show them that it's my mom, you are trying. So and my parents are like, no, that's not your place.
No, but that's a good one.
We are capable of handling our problems.
Beautiful.
And now I realize the ton of wisdom that goes with that. A person that cannot get you, if that person harms your child, they finished your problem.
That's it.
And my parents didn't want to take that chance, I guess.
You were
and
the only one.
Well, yes. Maybe if they had other children to spare, maybe they wouldn't have. But it wasn't a chance they were willing to take, So it was, and for me, growing out, struggle with, okay, you're not on good terms with this person, but I should smile at them, I should be polite, I should greet them. But now I understand what that was about.
They actually protected you first.
Exactly, they were trying to protect me. And I see other people, they're having a problem with maybe a sibling or an in-law or something, and their children are behind them and they come and they attack. And I'm just looking, I'm like, well, you people are 9, 10, so maybe maybe your parents can spare 3 or 4 of you. I don't know what's going on. Because I'm now so invested in that.
Yeah.
And that's what I practice in my home too. First of all, it's even hard for any of the kids to know I'm having issues with anybody. I may just mention it in passing. But you are not going to get up and go and fight that battle for me. And not send you.
Good one.
That's my philosophy.
But I'm sorry, I'm just going to come in there. But does it allow you to manage friction today?
Thank you for asking that question. And I cannot assess myself. I think it's better for other people to assess you. But like for me, for instance, if I know that you are trying to trip me up, you are trying to provoke me, you will not get that reaction.
Fantastic.
Once I'm certain that this is an act of provocation, you can literally come and do like this in front of me. You can sit here and poop and everything, and I'll act like you don't exist. Except I don't know you're trying to provoke me. If I don't know you're trying to provoke me, you'll get a rise out of me. But if I'm sure that this person is acting a script so that Devan will speak, and then somebody can take my voice or my words and go somewhere and make me look bad, you will not get a rise out of me. I'll sit there and turn to plastic.
Wow. That's a good one. Let's get to
well, for me,
I know that you have trained yourself in taekwondo, and you've also trained your girls.
Not myself, just my daughter.
On taekwondo.
In Kung Fu,
are you using it to manage friction at home?
Hey, no. Those things are you just get yourself trained in things like that to be able to self-defense. It's not for you to go out and be causing trouble all over the place. No. But for me, growing up, I learned to agree to disagree, or you disagree to agree. You know, for me, I saw my parents, of course, have their frictions, but always settle themselves. Unfortunately, I lost my dad at a very young age, so I cannot talk for very long on that. But at least the times I saw, you know, I saw people who will have their issues sometimes, but at the end of the day, will still come together to make sure that things work, communicate effectively. Because if you look at it, that is the root cause of friction.
Okay, now I know that we did mention earlier in the program that family is the very first unit of the society, and if we get it right at that very tiny unit, the larger society will benefit. And I know that a lot of conflict originates from the home, the sibling rivalry and all of that. How should mothers begin to handle, you know, for instance, rivalry between children? I like what you said about your parents, you know, ensuring that you don't partake of your quarrel. Because I have heard in this age and time, parents telling their children, don't talk to Mr. A, don't talk to Mr. B. Even your uncles and aunties, don't enter their house. You know, build up negativity in a child's mind, and they grow with it. How do we begin to ensure that within the family, sibling rivalry, as early as year 1, year 2, year 3, you know, doesn't ever happen?
Okay, should I start then?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, the first thing is to live by example, because children see not by only what you tell them, they see by what they observe. So when they observe you, they observe if you're a single parent, they observe the way you deal with outsiders. If you are in a coupling situation, you are married, they learn how you observe, you know, how you treat each other in the home, how you talk to each other, how you navigate issues, how you communicate with your partner. So children learn by observing more than even what they are told. So the first thing to avoid sibling rivalry is to make sure that you are on plain terms. And actually, all of this starts even before you get married. The ability to communicate effectively and openly before you even get married. Talk to yourselves in a family unit. We're talking about a family unit here. So talk to yourselves, communicate effectively, write out what you expect. A lot of people hide themselves and they enter into relationships and then begin to unveil who they are. Every day you see a new personality. So by the time you are open with yourself, open with each other, open with what you want from this relationship, believe me, coming together relationship is not only about love. After a while, the love clears out. What you have is now the real person who is facing
respect.
You understand? So once you are able to settle these things from the foundation, because it all starts from the foundation of the relationship, even before you enter into the union, is very important, because it's what will guide you into the union and how you bring up these children to be able to develop confidence in themselves, not to even say they are being rivals with themselves. Because what really happens with children is that once they see that a child here is being favored, one other child now begins to get angry and say, oh, why are they always talking to me? So that man or that woman has to be mature enough to even know that you don't bring these children into this space.
How do I manage children who are two extremes? You know, one is just a troublemaker, the other one is a very good girl or very good boy.
Yes.
And I see parents, you know, trying to like, can't you see your sister? Comparison.
Yes.
Why don't you be like your sister and all of that? How do you begin to manage that kind of situation so that you don't sow seed of discord between the children?
Well, the first thing is to make sure that every child has its own individual capabilities, has their own individual abilities, and are different in every way. No child is the same. You may find qualities that bring them together, but there are more qualities that separate them. So you must look at every child as an individual. Look at every child as a child who has her own path in life to take. Once you are able to do that, then appreciate where that child is coming from, rather than bring that child down. Appreciate but when you now find that the child is troublesome, then you now have to make sure and put your foot down as a parent. Not only for the children, but for your own self, that my mental health is important to me. You are not going to mess with my mental health. I will disturb you if you try to mess with my mental health. You have to put boundaries.
Okay. All right. So
No, it's true. True.
yeah, were you going to add something?
Well, for my part, I noticed that parents sometimes tend to forget that the oldest child is still a child.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
You understand?
You're right.
So parents will sit there and allow the younger ones to keep antagonizing the older
child.
one and expect that older one, who might be, maybe that one is like 7, the 2 antagonizing him or her are 5 and 3. You expect this 7-year-old to operate on the level of a parent and accept all the nonsense that's coming from the 5 and the 3-year-old because you are older. You are older by only 2 years. Parents should remember that this older is relative.
Agree.
Is relative. Should be older, should know a bit better, but concede that that 7-year-old is also a child. So I'm not that kind of person. I don't have the capacity to watch the younger ones bully the older children. I don't take it. You know, and I see the parents and they expect the older one to allow her hair to be pulled and if they give you something, the younger one should snatch it because you should be this. When I'm there, it becomes a problem and I return it. Return it. This is the one for your older. See your own there. Go and then the 2 of them, and then the parents begin to see me as the problem. And don't you know this one is smaller? I say, you don't you know that the 2 of them are small children? Why are you giving the older one the impression that they don't matter because this one is younger?
Very important.
Give this one to a sense of
belonging.
The thing that is in front of you, that is the one that is your own. This one is your older sister. That one is for her. So you cannot leave your own and come here and pick this one and expect me to support you because this one is older. You tell her,
ask.
please.
You ask.
Sister, please, can you share this one with me? You be polite, you know.
Anyway,
that's my own.
Really
I don't
create just a level playing ground.
Yes,
for
you
these
have
children
to
thrive.
don't allow
You must
anyone
balance.
to bully the other one.
Yes, you
don't
must
allow
balance it.
It's important, you know, because I watched something on I think Instagram. This family, Neto and Zito. You know, the Neto is a very troublesome one, and she's a small one. Just depicting what you said. I think generally we should, as parents, understand that every child, like you said, is individual. And based on that, if you look closely on, at your child, you will notice, even if it's just one good quality, you know, that very troublesome boy, perhaps is the one that likes to clean. Perhaps is the one that likes to, care. Perhaps is the one that likes to do that very small thing he does that is okay. If you hype on it and make him feel good about it, he will so appreciate it because there's nobody. Even the devil likes to be, acknowledged.
The irony I've noticed in some homes is the naughtiest person also tends to be the sweetest.
Yes. Yeah, it's like a double-edged sword.
You understand? I've seen this in 2 homes. In one home, I'm trying to be, I don't want people to be able to identify. In one home, this young man was so naughty. You know, he's the type that will get into trouble in school and all this, and troublesome, you will fight and all of this. But he's also the kind of person whom anybody that comes to the house, out of all those children, that's the one person they remember. Because that's the one that you'll attend to you. He's an extrovert. He will come and sit and chat with you. He'll get you a drink and all this. He is also the one person that will not sleep until daddy has entered the house and he has locked the door.
But again, I want to just chip in here. You see, sometimes what we term naughty are underlying issues.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
You know, so when you see that a child is always acting out, rather than point fingers at that child, especially when the child is still young and you begin to see the tendencies in the child to delve into naughtiness, you bring the child closer and begin to inculcate a level of awareness of their behavior and how it affects the surroundings to them. So what I'm trying to say is, you see your child acting out, rather than saying, why are you so troublesome? Why are you always the odd one out? Why are you this one? Why are you that? Bring that child closer. Just as you said, hype the good qualities in that child. When the child begins to see my good qualities are actually more than even this naughty, you see after a while, they begin to step down. But if that child is accused all the time of being only bad, then
so there's no surprise again.
Exactly.
Let me continue being bad.
Let me continue. If he doesn't know or she doesn't know, and just continues that way.
You know, let me butt into what you're saying.
Yeah.
Our parents, you see, we wonder why we go out and you see dysfunctional people. It's from the home where we're coming from.
Exactly.
True.
And it's getting worse. Because, like she said, I go to some houses, you are stupid. You will never amount to anything in life. You know, and sometimes you see some little kids, when you know you're in your place, you'll be listening, stupid, fool, this thing. Then I call them. Why did you say that? He said, but mommy said, daddy said. You see, children act what they see. I grew up in a home, I even used to tell people that my parents never quarreled. It was a lie.
They just found a way of doing it behind
They
the
used
door.
to do it in the bedroom. Then they come out
and smile.
And smile. So it was when I grew older and I realized that, and I asked the question, why? They said, what you put in a child growing up stays with the child. When you're much older, I can explain to you and it doesn't stay in your system. The thing here is that we have parents who think the boy child are alpha
and omega.
And
they can become bullies. It doesn't matter.
They can do whatever they want to do and they get away with it. The female child is supposed to be the one that is a maid. Is supposed to be the one that cooks, the one that cleans. The boys are sleeping, the girl child is working. And I always say that, okay, if the girl child is cooking, why doesn't the boy child sweep?
Exactly.
Or why doesn't he clean the house?
Exactly.
Why doesn't he iron clothes? So by the time parents are already, because I grew up thinking, I know my mom is watching. I grew up thinking that my mom was not my mom.
Hey, mama.
Why? Because my mom was damn strict. But she told me something. You are the first. When the first is bad,
it trickles down.
It trickles down. So you see this first, I go
straight on.
We go dig am. And the bottom line here was that I was a stubborn child. I was stubborn. So she needed to
guide you.
You know, guide me, checkmated me. But you see, with the last ones, I know they're watching, the boy and the girl. Sometimes I always used to tell them, oh my God, if not that you were my siblings, I give up on you guys. But you see, parents, there's a way a parent will come and meet you. You see, like I say, all of us are not brilliant. All of us are not good in certain things. But like you said, parents should pick what their kids are good in. And all of us can't be doctors.
True.
All of us can't be lawyers.
True. Exactly.
I could be a designer. I could be a caterer. I could be a photographer. Look at what's happening now. Things are changing.
Definitely.
So please, parents, this is in your
domain.
It's the parents are the ones that we have to talk to now, not really the kids, because most kids think that their parents don't love them, but they really do.
We have messages coming in. I think I want to read maybe two of them and link it up to exactly what you're saying. This person says, good morning, beautiful women in the studio. I am Mrs. ACO. Oh, ACO. Well, that's the abbreviation. From Ebonyi State. Please, I need advice on how to handle my mother and her friction manner. Though I grew up seeing and knowing a strong mom, hardworking and very industrious, my bills for 1 year. Okay, I guess my mother paid my bills for 1 year to final year as an undergraduate, but my mom is the type that always wants you to have friction with people. She also has friction with, I think I find it very difficult to comprehend. Please, how do I handle so as not to make her feel like I don't love and wouldn't want to support her with her frictions? I guess it's what you said
because
about,
of what I said.
Yes. So, but would you want to chip in? Okay, go
somebody
ahead.
else
When you finish, I want to say something about
just go
that as
ahead.
well.
Okay. First of all, you have a mother who likes to have issues with people. The first thing you must realize is that you are not your mother.
Simple.
That's the first thing you must realize. She gave birth to you. She's a channel in which you came into the world, but you are not the same person. So you must first of all accept that and differentiate that. Whether it's a mother, whether it's a husband, whether there is children, whoever is watching right now and feels that, oh, when my mother is having problems, I should support.
I must support.
It's not your duty to support. What you can do is observe. Now, when your mother is having these issues and she expects you to chip in and maybe stand with her and say, you must let her know. Let her finish what she has to say, because if you are trying to correct her at that time, you will just escalate the issue.
Yes.
So let her finish what she has to do. When she has finished, you call her, Mommy, you see, this cannot go on. When she has finished acting out.
Two of you alone.
Yes, when two of you are alone, you not let her
there.
see the reason. You would have put your points. Mommy, you know, this is you can't continue like this. Number one, you are older. You are now more grown. You can have hypertension. You can bring in the health challenges. You can even bring in, you don't even know the temperament of the person you are fighting with. The person could...
You can kill her.
He can kill you. We see a lot of situations.
No, even kill the person you're fighting
Exactly.
with.
We see a lot of situations these days where, just as you were saying, the boy is being taught to sit down, the girl is being taught to do the work. So by the time that boy gets into a home and then he's married to a woman who expects that he should do something, and then resentment now builds up. And then, you know, you start having this thing called friction. So it's all of this. That's why I say it's foundational. You must treat it from the foundation. From when children are growing up, you must begin to inculcate what you want them to become. Because what you want them, if they see you fighting all the time, they will fight as well. Except they have a conscious awareness that this is wrong. I am not going to toe this line. Please, the first thing, make sure you differentiate that I am not my mother.
Okay.
I am not my mother.
You see, the thing here is that my mother knows me. Everybody knows me. That you are fighting somebody else. I will never carry another man's fight. I will make sure that most of the time, I want to hear, there are two sides to a story. So I want to know what happened. You know, there are some certain things, like people do stuff to me. Big things don't really get to me. It's the very tiny little bit that gets to me. But somebody else is different. My mother knows, and I always say it, that you have a problem with that person. I don't have a problem. Sometimes my mother cannot understand why she's having a problem with somebody else. And I don't have a problem with the person. Why would I?
Different chemistry.
You are Mrs. Marion Modupe. I am Ojoma Joy. So it's two different things. What I would rather do is, why don't we settle this thing?
Exactly.
Because most of the time when you are angry, you see this bottling anger, sickness, illnesses, different things come up. So the thing here is that, but sometimes try and find the history of this woman. How did she grow up? How did she grow up? What did she go through? People like this don't just do that. It is a pattern from the foundation.
Maybe she's from a polygamous.
I didn't see. You know the let me tell you. I didn't want to go.
I know where you're coming from. Pooping on anybody, but there's
I didn't want to go
clannishness that happens a lot
on polygamous angle because last week I talked about polygamous, and people called me and vented their anger about polygamous.
And so it was men, right?
No, it was both sides.
Both sides.
You know, it was both. You know,
because you tend to fight for yourself.
You know,
survival of the fittest.
So the thing here, that's it. Because I said it. It's all about grab. My side is right. My this. So
not
the
in
thing
all
here,
homes, though.
But you see, the thing here is basically this woman. There must be a foundational problem.
All right, so let's read some more messages. It says, please, ma, can you people deliberate on wicked or evil parents, especially mothers that want their children under their evil manipulation or control, most especially that she knows you are a glorious destiny to fulfill, but she will rather tell you to face, not in this world you tell you to your face, not in this world you will fulfill it. Not once, twice, thrice, many times.
Wow.
Years back, 19.9% of women were good. They were ready to go to any length for their children, but not anymore. There are still good mothers out there, though, but not like before. All right, before we take on this question, let's see if the Umada feature is ready. Then we play it because it talks a lot about what you just asked.
In Africa, women are a powerful institution. Their roles are reserved. In Nigeria, particularly the Igbo people, they are known as the Umuada, daughters of the lineage. They play a vital role as organized women's group, acting as mediators, peace builders, and agents of social change, while also preserving cultural traditions and supporting community development. Their ability to mediate and resolve conflicts within the community, acting as a bridge between different factions and promoting peace, stand them out as special people. They move with a united front, which is why they always record success. Recall the Aba Women Riot of 1929 that brought great change to the socio-economic power of the women. That was a coalition of different Umuadas from different ethnic groups. Other functions of this group include cultural preservation and transmission, social control and community development, economic contributions, empowerment and advocacy, support for families, organization and leadership, adaptability and resilience. History tells us that the fear of these daughters of the land is the beginning of wisdom. They wear the top-notch ADR with well-balanced penance for offenders. Unfortunately, it is history now. Today, with the increasing level of decadence and societal friction, one cannot help but ask, where are the Umuadas of today? Where are the Queen Aminas of Zauza? Where are the Margaret Ekpos of now? Where are the Mrs. Ransom Kutis of our days? Who will bail people out?
I was listening to that detail and I actually felt so emotional because he said, who will bail people out? Because I see a whole lot happening in the system. But I know before we took that, you were going to add something. Maybe
yes,
also
responding to this person
yes.
who is convinced that, I don't know if it's male or female, that the mother hates him or her. You see, I think the problem most mothers have is that of emotional. We have an incapacity to regulate our emotions, especially verbally. You will find that there are any number of fake pastors running around now convincing people that their mothers are witches.
Yes, I agree with you.
So you can imagine carrying a child for 9 months,
Yes.
birthing that child, raising that child, nurturing, feeding, tending to, and then somebody will meet that child, and within a few weeks they have convinced that child that you, the mother, are a witch.
Very sad.
Why is that stranger able to convince your child of such? It's because of your utterances. A small child, you send a small child on an errand that is beyond their capacity. They goof. You are useless. You will never amount to anything in life. I regret the day I gave birth to you. And you will go on a rant. You will talk for hours. Anybody that walks through the door, you will say the thing again. When they, oh, what happened? She broke a plate. A door was left ajar. Water that was supposed to be in the fridge was not put in the fridge. soup that was supposed to be warmed was not warm, so it has gone bad. And you will hear some mothers go on a tirade. Some years ago, one girl got so fed up with this situation that she took her own life.
Because of the
It was in the news, yes. It was in the news. That the mother was always, not beating so. And people think that because somebody is not beating you up.
No.
Any other thing.
Verbal abuse is horrible.
The verbal and the emotional abuse from the mother was so much that the girl ended her life. And mothers, I know we're struggling with so many things. Sometimes your frustration is coming from a place of your marriage. Things are not working out between you and Oga. You dump your frustration on the kids. Things are not working out at work, or you go to work and you have a bad day. You come and empty it on the kids or on the maid. But what you are doing is you are alienating yourself from your children.
And you let her begin to cry.
And the thing is, by the time your child becomes an adult, and you are the one in a needy place now,
You'll be left alone.
if that person is filled up only with negative memories, they may not be able to be around you. They might help you from a distance, send money to somebody for you and things, visit you just to fulfill all righteousness. But they will not be in that capacity to pick the phone, talk to you for 30 minutes at a stretch, you know, make you feel
Even
good.
visit.
And it's not even because they are trying to be wicked. They've never had that history with you. All they had with you was constant verbal abuse disguised as home training.
You know, I always say to people like this, if I meet them one-on-one, while your mother is, you know, abusing you, remember that nobody really holds your destiny. And knowing that it's with you, counter it. When he's telling you you will not amount to anything, say, no, God, the Spirit of God in me knows that I'm an eagle and I'm going to fly real high. You cannot do this. No, I have God in me, so I can do everything.
No, but you are
speak
possibility
in yourself.
It's easy for you to sit here.
Because you are aware.
That's it. It's easy for you. Because you were brought up in a different kind of a family. So it's easy for you to say that. You see, unfortunately for some mothers, like I always say, because they didn't get certain things in life and they were not certain things, they now start to look at their children. You know, like I have a friend who says, oh, I see my mom only once in 3 years. Oh, you know what? I call her just in a year, I call her like 2 or 4 times. And I'm like, your mother, the one that gave birth to you. See, it's not all about money. You see this self-love we talked about. I love to sit down with my mom and all of us will laugh and you know, you gist and she'll say, this one, don't you think you are getting too ugly, too fat, too this? You know, you should be able to have mothers that you can talk to and tell them certain things so that they can give you advice.
Yes.
Not those kind of mothers who say, okay, you know that man is richer than this man. Okay, it's better you date. You don't have to get married. You know what? Stick with this man and grab money for us because of security. You know, there are some mothers who say, follow that rich man. You don't have to be married. Or be a baby mama. Let me not go to be a baby mama.
No.
Based on our security, because there are some, see, when we see people, when we see movies are realities of what's happening in real life. So whether we like it or not, there are bad mothers there.
Yes.
All right, so this person says, good morning to the women in the studio. I really like your discussion going on. Thank you guys for trying to inculcate morals, upbringing in our society. You are doing well in the studio. God bless you. Manuel Buba from Biliri, Gombe State. That's nice. It feels good to know that you can reach us from there. Another one says, also, I studied law, currently a fashion designer. My big brother is an engineer. Oh, okay. Hello, ladies. I'm Casey from Ebonyi. I'm the second of 5 kids, all boys, and my mom cares not for gender. You will cook, you will clean, and you will smile about it. I also studied law. Currently, I'm also a fashion designer. My big brother is an engineer. My little brother is a computer scientist. My mom makes sure to celebrate. our individual talents and ability. There is the odd comparison now and then, but we know where we stand with her and each other. Please, can you clap for your mother?
Yeah.
This is a beautiful
We're all
one.
clapping. We're all clapping for that mother. That's good.
We don't know your mother's name, but then please help me, Casey, greet your mother, because that's the kind of mother we all want, because she knows that there are friction up and down, but she knows how to separate it and give that positive comparison. But mother-in-laws, oh my God, Ehi, do you have that clip of mother-in-laws? Mother-in-law friction. If he's ready, can you play it for us before we even get to talk about mother-in-laws? It's been a problem. Is it ready?
Valentine's night, you came over, made sure you ate, and then when you were finished, you expected me to take your plate.
In the Nigerian culture, you are supposed to take your mother-in-law's plate.
Yes.
If you know you want to marry my son,
don't have to
you are
marry
supposed to respect me.
Mom, can you...
No! Leave me alone!
What's the problem?
Stop it!
Wait,
Mom,
wait. Now.
No! Stop it! You have to respect me. I'm not your man. She has to respect me.
She respects
She
you.
has to take my plate.
Mom, listen.
Come on.
Hold on. No,
Listen to me.
Listen to me.
I don't want this.
Mom, listen. Mom, you just right now broke her heart.
She broke my heart too. Leave me alone.
Any other day.
Leave me alone. Don't be a whip for a woman.
I'm not being a woman.
He's not being a woman.
Feel it in Basel, okay? Otherwise, why come I embarrass already?
Wait.
I don't understand what's going on.
Just go.
Nonsense.
And I
It's nonsense. If you want to marry a Nigerian, you have to respect your elder.
Okay, so we actually got that out of a show, and let me not talk. I want them to talk about it. What's it? I need to know. Our culture, that's a big time friction happening there.
Yeah.
And the girl says, I'm not supposed to carry my mother-in-law's plate after food, into the kitchen. And the woman says, if it's me, you want to marry my son, you have to obey. What do you think should be the right thing to be done?
Well, I see a culture clash there that should not have happened. The young lady sounds American. The woman refers to herself as a Nigerian, and from her accent, I can also tell. And I heard Yoruba spoken as well.
Okay.
So there's a culture clash there. As a Nigerian, I have grown up in a culture that says that, just as Joy mentioned earlier, you defer to your elders. I will not expect an elder, any kind of elder, never mind the one whose son I'm trying to marry, to take her plate to the kitchen.
I agree.
It's not a big deal. I will take that plate. I will wash it. I brought the food. Is it to take the plate that will now become a problem? I mean, then to the point of even raising it with her several days after, because she mentions that on Valentine's Day, when you came, I made sure you were fed. First of all, that's irritating. Made sure you were fed sounds as if I hadn't come to your house, I wouldn't have eaten food. I made sure you were fed. And after you were done, you expected me to take your plate. Of course, I expected you to take my plate.
And if possible, take my shoes.
What will my shoes do for you? You understand? But I will concede that the lady in my opinion, the older lady overreacted. I think she overreacted. Somebody might say, what would you have done in her shoes? The same reaction I had when I first watched the video. I was shocked. I was stunned. Because there is no older person that will come to my house and then after I've served you a meal, I'll expect you to take that plate to the kitchen. It's not something that would ever enter my mind in any shape or form. Never mind bringing it up to the point of asking you about it. Now, they are not married, so but for the purposes of this thing, we're going to refer to her as mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, and such. I think that whole thing could have been avoided if the young man in question had put his girlfriend or fiancé, whatever, through the paces. You see, Mama is coming on Valentine's Day with such and such, the way we do our thing. When it's just me and you in the house, when we're done, I wash plates and things like that. When Mama is around, I won't do it too, and I will not carry her plate. When she finishes eating, just carry the plate to the kitchen.
Wouldn't that be a lie?
A lie how?
Like the way we used to do things. So Mama is here. We should not do that. That's
No. It's just for the sake
But how long are you going to continue?
It's not pretending. To me, it's not pretending. To me, it's about
Okay,
respecting that person's culture.
Gradually you teach her how to
just
do it.
respecting
Okay.
that person's culture. This is how we do it in our home. So she will expect the same thing here. Just humor her. She's not going to be here for longer than 2 or 3 hours. When she's done, she goes, we can go back to our default.
Which is what I said, in the beginning, that a lot of people do not come honestly and openly.
No, but he knows that that's how they are. She's not marrying his mother.
No, but again, he, as a man, must introduce the woman
to the culture.
Even before the mother comes to experience all of this.
But that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yes, we're saying the same thing. All
Okay.
I'm saying that he must make sure that the woman is gradually so that she now has a choice. If she can deal with it, she
Or not.
stays.
Yeah.
If she can't deal with it, she goes. Before you begin to bring up children in that kind of environment.
You see, foundation. You see, we're talking about foundation.
Exactly.
You see, the thing here is that how can I give somebody who is older than me food, and I expect that person to take her plate?
But that is our culture too.
That's our culture.
That may not be her culture.
That's where I'm hitting it.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. The young man should have.
So now you go. See, now you go abroad. You now decide you want to date. I'm even surprised for a black American, or maybe a black
Nigerian
even
American.
Jamaicans and all that. They know those. They know the thing. The thing here is that it's already. I don't think it's the plates. That is causing that.
There's already.
I don't think it's the plates. I think there are other things, factors.
Exactly.
Not that.
Exactly.
So
the
usually
plates didn't help.
Yes.
It didn't help.
The plate.
Escalated.
Yes,
Just like what Joy said, that small things are the one that actually she has.
The plate was the last straw.
But it's also on the man to now call his woman separately.
But if you see
and talk to her,
but my darling,
she can't go stay.
But my darling, if you see that man, he looks like a weakling. Sorry,
I did not say anything. Let's read more messages.
How did you reach that conclusion?
He says, "Good morning, beautiful ladies. I am the first son of my family. My mom has troubled me to an extent. I even think she is not my mother. I am 35 years and I still don't understand what she wants from me till date. Maybe my dead body." This is harsh.
Is he married? Okay, he didn't say
He
that.
didn't state it, but this is definitely harsh. How can this be
Maybe
coming
he's not
from?
making it.
I don't know.
But can I take that?
Go ahead.
Yes, I'm going to take that from the economic
I think
situation
so.
of the country.
Yes.
A lot of, you mentioned something earlier about people pushing their children to marry,
A lot of mothers.
big people.
Odogu.
I went somewhere yesterday. I was at, I went to fix up my car yesterday, and I saw a lot of young men. We have a lot of orientation to do in this country. A lot of young men stayed in the corner, were hiding. Productive men hiding to take drugs daylight. You begin to wonder, where are our values? What has happened to us?
Pressure.
You understand? Pressure to belong, pressure to want to. Now, if you now call those ones, okay, please follow me. Let's go and quickly do something. You will get more money to be able to live the life you want.
All right, so 1 minute. Our time is
Okay.
almost not ours.
Okay.
Wow, I love this topic. You guys are amazing. I love you, Mrs. Joy. I always look forward to hearing from your contribution. I am Charity from Benin. Thank you so much, Charity from Benin. Let's see what other one we can take before we tidy up. I'm very grateful for your response. Okay, somebody who is thanking us for what we replied. I pray God helps her, especially with her immediate family members, like her first son and his wife. I always want to fight them, stop you from. All right, thank you very much. I get this is appreciating what we've been saying. Our time is no longer ours. Just final thoughts, one sentence.
I have learned from my mom. She loves her in-laws more than even us.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And one thing I do recall now from my childhood was my father would not let you use abusive language on anybody.
It's not good.
And I still don't use it till date.
It's not good. Go ahead.
Please, as much as possible, parents, let's try and level the field, no matter what you feel towards any child.
All right, it's important because if we break up our homes, we live to suffer it. A lot of parents are abandoned at their, dying out age, so to speak. because the foundation was not laid right. If you want to have a happy old age, it's better as a mother, as a father, you begin to instill happiness in your children. You can never give what you don't have.
Oh, yes.
That has always been my testimony. Bye. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
See you.